What's going on, good people? Welcome into the only live and local unscripted show dedicated to live and local sports here on the Shore. I am Sports Director Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Brandon Bossert. Week 3 since sports came to a grinding halt, but we've got you packed for a show tonight with all sorts of stuff about Delaware, the Henlope, and everything, Trey.
That's exactly right. We have a fun night in store for you. We are breaking down the top 10 moments from the winter sports season in the state of Delaware. It got cut short, but Brandon, it was a great season nonetheless.
It was a great season, like you said,
right.
Trey. Let's get right into the list tonight. We have the top 10 moments across the first state.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're going to get things started with our number 10 moment from the winter sports season. And coming in at number 10, we got to give a shout out to our 1,000-point scorers this year. First, we got to start with the king, right? Elijah Allen, Gatorade Player of the Year, got his 1,000th point way back on December 4th against Sussex Central. And after that, a bunch of players followed up. Yaya Afriye from Polytech, and so did 2 seniors at Cape Henlopen. Denia Cannon, also Abby Hearn accomplished that feat this year. Now, if we missed anybody, just let us know on our social media. But congratulations to that crew. They all had awesome years.
That's right, Trey. And one thing I want to point out is a lot of these players who we mentioned were on some great teams that ended the year with a win, but didn't get that opportunity to go out for a championship. A lot of these players are seniors. They'll never play in high school again. I just want to say that it was a pleasure to go out there and watch these games and watch these kids compete on the floor. And congratulations to all of them, like you said, Trey. And now we are going to move on to number 9, one of the young and up-and-coming teams in the Henlope and South, the Seaford Blue Jays. Seaford opened some eyes early on this season, starting 8-0 with a good crop of sophomores and freshmen, along with seniors like number 10 Nathan Barrett. Coach Vince Evans took this club from sub-500 in 2019 to 15-5 in 2020. Now, number 5, Tyrese Fortune, who you're about to see, was big for Seaford, along with freshman Brent Ricketts. Seaford had trouble with Henlope and South rivals, though, Trey, like Woodbridge, Laurel, and Lake. But they earned their first trip to the postseason since 2011 and won in the postseason for the first time since at least 2007, which is as far back as we could find brackets.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, I was one of the people skeptical of this team and what they were going to be able to do this year, especially how young they were. But we saw youth did not mean a lot this year. These kids were talented and they were great, so congratulations to Seaford on a great year. All right, on to number 8. We got to take it to the 2019 Governor's Challenge. Now, Gov Challenge is always great, and lately we've been seeing more Henlope teams join in. This year, 3 of those squads won bracket championships. Laurel won their bracket, and that got their win streak started, which we will talk about a little bit later on in this show. Smyrna also won their bracket, as did Delmarva, before things got rocky for the Wildcats. And of course, we cannot forget about the showdown, the battle of the unbeatens in the tournament. Y-High and Dover, 2 of the top programs on the Shore, clashed. Of course, Dover took it 66-50, but what a game that was, and how cool was that to see all of those stars that we cover on one floor on one night.
I mean, basically, this was the heavyweight championship of the Eastern Shore, watching Dover and Y-High. It's why I love the Governor's Challenge so much, because we get to see a matchup that we maybe might have never been able to see, watching Elijah Allen go up against Jason Handy and Antoine Wilson and all those guys. Absolutely fantastic to watch out there at the Wicomico Youth and Civic Center. And we're moving on now. Tonight, 16 equals 7 because the Laurel Bulldogs, another young, scrappy team that shocked many in the Henlope, led by sophomore Javier White. The Bulldogs racked up win after win after win, eventually knocking off 16 straight opponents to earn their second ever Henlope and South boys basketball title. This team blossomed as the year went on. They lost by 32 early in the year to Woodbridge. That turned out to be their last regular season loss. They even took down the Blue Raiders just 1 month later, a win that proved to be the difference in the South this year. And Trey, some of their other young stars include freshman Dontarius Jones, Corey Mumford, Kylese Wilson. We'll see if they're able to keep those guys in Laurel.
Yeah, and we know that the season did not end the way that Laurel wanted it to, but we are talking about the good. And what was good about this year, 16 straight victories. It doesn't get any better than that. That coaching staff did a wonderful job with that young team, and they are well deserving to be on this list. All right, on to number 6. Want to hear me sing a little bit, Brandon?
Yeah.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T, right? Respect the
right.
Easiac, baby. Delmarva Christian not only shocked us, they shocked much of the state this season. Not only did the boys team go 18-2 and make the DIAA tournament, the girls team went 19-1. They also went to the DIAA tournament. Both teams received first-round byes. Both teams won the Easiac tournament, and both teams will probably go down as the best teams in school history. Amazing year.
Yeah, that's right. And Delmarva Christian just a few years ago was struggling to win 4 and 5 games, and now we see,
tell me about it.
You know, Delmarva Christian not only going 19-1 in girls basketball, but also that boys team. They had the Easiac Player of the Year 2 times in a row with Andrew Workman.
Yep.
And then you saw Von Hoff right there. I mean, that guy is built.
Huge.
Yeah, exactly. And we
huge.
talked with Gabe Hurling earlier this week for After the Whistle. Up-and-coming freshman going into his sophomore year. He says watch out for the Royals. They can make another run next year in the Easiac. All right, let's go on to the story heard around the Henlopen. Javier White calling out the Gatorade Player of the Year. White saying, I want Elijah Allen. Allen heard that loud and clear.
Yes, he did.
And this Senators team put this one away early on. The Bulldogs were muzzled in the first few minutes.
Yes, they were.
Falling behind 31-9. They had a lot of bark, but their bite, there wasn't much bite to them. They trailed by 32 at halftime. Allen led the Senators with 22 points. Eden Davis notching 20. And Dover took their second consecutive Henlopen championship.
It was a party in there. You know what? You said it, Brandon.
Yeah, and maybe the Bulldogs, they should have barked a little less leading up to this one. Right, Trey?
They got the signs going. I want Elijah Allen. They had everything going. And I just love what that did to this game. Obviously, Javier White bit off a little bit more than he can chew in that game.
Definitely.
But the Dover Senators are a great team. And you saw what happens when the great teams get challenged. They stepped up to the challenge. Also, that Governor's Challenge was special, man.
Yeah.
We talked about it, especially that Y-High and Dover game. When you're able to just see how powerful the Senators are and what they were this year compared to what we see in the Bayside week after week is truly remarkable.
That's right. We saw quite a few teams taking home bracket championships as well. We saw Laurel and Delmar winning their brackets. So it's a good time, you know, during that holiday break for teams to really mesh together, win a title.
Yes.
And if you're like Laurel, it could start a winning streak.
Yes, you could. And if you're like Laurel, you'll be having to back it up when that time comes. All right. That's going to do it for our first segment, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, one local gym is being resourceful, finding a way to keep training local athletes amid this global pandemic. That and the rest of our countdown when we come back.
Hi, I'm Sean Phillips, Delmar High School head basketball coach. You're watching the Delmarva Sports Insider.